just from the previous lecture are probably pretty self-explanatory, but just let's review them real quick. So we have the insertion tool and the removal tool. This is the handle. Both parts, the insertion screws into this snapping handle, and so does the removal tool. And they just basically screw in, and there's a little wrench. If it gets stuck, you can loosen it with this little wrench. But I usually don't have to use those. Also,
I'm just going to move you just a little bit.
okay.
You're good.
Also, there's a little Allen wrench that you can use to change the length of this. I should keep it low probably. To change the length of the little wire that we use to remove it. So you just put the Allen wrench in there, and you could put the loop whatever length you want. I like to keep it a little shorter because I feel like I have a little more control over it. And then we have our prosthetic, which is held onto the model with some green inserts. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove that model. We're going to take out the inserts, and we're going to replace those inserts with some more green ones and seat it. This is the seating tool. It has two ends. One is a removal side. It kind of opens like a tulip as you turn it, which helps us to grab onto the insert and pull it out of the housing. And then the other side is the part that inserts the clip into the prosthetic. So let's all put the loop onto the gun. And then you're going to slip this underneath the distal extension. And you want to keep it a little taut when you're doing it. And you're going to give it a click. Now what you want to do in the patient's mouth is kind of keep your hand over the prosthesis, because if you do it just right, it could pop out of the patient's mouth. Now once the back one pops, then you just move it forward to the next one. Click it again. And there you can see I wasn't protecting that, so I popped it out. But you just move from one side to the other until the prosthesis comes out. Does everybody have their prosthetic off yet? Okay, now let's take the removal tool, and what you want to do is you want to brace the prosthetic on a lab bench or on a paper towel or something.
Don't tell the kids that.
And we're going to insert that end into the green insert, and then you're just going to turn that counterclockwise until it grabs. And then you can just kind of rotate it and pull it out, and that clip will come with it. And then you rotate it the other way so that the clip comes off there. So keep your used clips away from the new clips so we don't get them mixed up. So everybody just take all of the green clips out, and then we'll insert the fresh ones. And I find that the clips come out a little better if you give it a little twist rather than just try to pull it straight out. So, well, go ahead and give the zest answer first.
Okay. Okay. So, zest position is that for the first year that you remove
So you still want to see your patients every 6 months because you want to do more open surgery. So they still should be coming back and seeing you every 6 months. Now, I do have doctors who take it off once a year for the first year of hygiene is really good. These are a peak insert. So each case is a little different. These are a peak insert. So once they're removed off of this locator, they're distorted. They will never give you the same retention if you were to place them back on. If you're doing some case modifications on a prosthesis, this might be what Dr. Deliberato might be saying. If you're wanting to take it in and out multiple different times before you do a final seat, then I would keep just that insert in there. Right?
I missed it. I was taking a photo.
If you were using, if you had green inserts and it was a temporary, then every time you took it off to do any type of modification, I would not change that insert and put it back. Correct?
If it snaps in, I've had times where I've taken out and tried to put it back in and it was wobbly, but I've had other times where it snapped right back in and the patient never had a problem. But so when it comes to screw retained restorations, the American College of Prosthodontics put a consensus statement out that says that you don't need to remove them every year unless there's a problem, unless radiographically there's something you see, or if the patient's not keeping it clean. I feel a little safer about taking them out at least once a year with LOCATOR Fixed, because it's so easy to get them out and it's so easy to replace the clips that I think it would just give me peace of mind. So I would say once a year would be a good routine. Yes.
How often should you take out the screw retain then?
The screw retain?
Yeah.
I used to take it out every hygiene appointment until the American College told us that that's not recommended. And the reason is because it takes longer to grind out the composite, and every time you unscrew those screws, you're deforming them in some way, and those screws are expensive. This is a little bit more economical and a little time friendly, so I think once a year would be a good rule. All right, now when you're going to put the new green clips in, you want to turn around that little tool with the black handle. And on the end of this tool, there's a little O-ring. And the O-ring helps you grab that insert, allowing you to pick it up in order to insert it. Now when I'm inserting these, I like to stand up. It gives me a little more leverage and control.
He's like my mentor.
I know.
He's the greatest guy. He's so difficult, but so I went there.
All right, so once you have your inserts in place, go ahead and switch from the from the little wire to the seating prosthetic. And you can use your little wrench if it's too tight to get it off.
Doc, I want to get a picture of you with the screen behind you.
Okay.
That's a really cool shot. Actually, let me blow that up a little bit.
Should I look at you or pretend like I'm
No,
working?
Pretend you're actually working. Awesome, thank you.
All right, so if everybody's got their inserts in, first thing you want to do is just position the prosthetic over the locators. Kind of find it with your finger pressure. And then just push it down with hand pressure so you can feel it slightly click into place. But it's not going to be down all the way. So the first thing you do is you pick one of the most distal locators. You place can you see that? No. Okay, place that seating tool and click it 3 times. And then move on to the next one. Click it 3 times. And then on to the next one, 3 times. And then to the last one. Absolutely.
Okay, guys, this is really, really important, okay? When you get this tooling, this core tool has a white O-ring at the very end of it, okay? You get a vial with extra O-rings to them, but I recommend that you never store